What is going on, everybody? I'm HoopsandHipHop and Pokemon Company. I love you guys, but you cannot just drop something on us like this and not even tell us beforehand. We got completely blindsided by a brand new 2-minute Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer this morning, and it's honestly a miracle that I was even awake, because it dropped at about 7 a.m. my local time, and that's not a time I'm awake very often. So it's kind of a miracle that I was even awake to be aware of this as soon as it dropped. But we are going to go ahead and go over this trailer, and I'm just going to give you guys my initial impressions and thoughts about everything that was revealed, just to kind of just give you guys my genuine feelings and opinions about all this stuff. And then later on in the week, I will be covering it in more detail the way I normally do, with kind of like the facts videos, the theories, all that good stuff. I just wanted to get a video out covering it today. And this is basically just going to be a nice little extra video for you guys, because I don't normally upload on Mondays. So it's just extra content, and then later in the week we will get into the more juicy stuff that I normally cover on my channel. So basically the trailer opens up with some new footage. We get the introduction of a new character, or we see a new character that's introduced later. So I'll talk about him more in a bit. But we start off... Actually, you know what? Hang on a second. Okay, I'm looking at the trailer right now, and there's a screenshot where Chairman Rose is releasing a Pokemon, and it totally looks like a new Pokemon, but it wasn't one of the ones that was revealed in today's trailer, and it doesn't look like one we've seen before. So that's kind of interesting, but it's literally only visible for like 3 frames, and it's covered by light. So that's really interesting. I might talk more about that later, but for now, like, there you go. That's something I just barely noticed, just like literally as I'm recording this. So take note of that, and yeah, that's awesome. I'll definitely come back to that later, probably in a future video. But then we actually get into the Pokemon that were officially revealed in this video, in this trailer, and the first one is Alcremie. And this one, obviously, it's just literally just like a whipped cream cake Pokemon, and I think it's adorable. Also, the really interesting thing I noticed about its official art is that its official art doesn't necessarily, like, to me, it doesn't look like it quite, like, 100% matches the, like, Sugimori style and the rest of the other Pokemon's artwork, but it's, like, extremely satisfying to look at the same time. Like, it's extremely visually appealing. Like, that might just be me, but that's kind of what I thought when I saw this. Like, its artwork looks really nice, but the Pokemon itself, I think, is really cute. Obviously, I mean, just like pastry whipped cream Pokemon, we've kind of become accustomed to these ever since the fairy type was introduced, but I honestly have no problem with it. I like it. I think it's a cool looking Pokemon, and I'm excited to see what evolves into. It looks kind of like it's doing the whole feminine ball gown type thing, because it's got the whipped cream that's kind of stylized into like a hairdo and then like a ball gown. So I imagine that it'll be like kind of like a Florges type situation, or maybe like a Serena type situation, where it's a feminine humanoid Pokemon, and it becomes more so as it evolves, and this one will become like royalty per se. So that's really cool. Absolutely love that design. And then we get the official reveal of Yamper. We did not get the official reveal of Impidimp for whatever reason. That's kind of interesting. Obviously, like, it's nice to have the official reveal. We kind of already know about Yamper, though. It's got its ability Ball Fetch that allows it to bring back a Pokeball that you failed catching a Pokemon with, like, one time in battle, which is really interesting and a really nice, like, mechanic for, like, in-game purposes. So that's nice. And then we get this really interesting rock type called Rolycoly. This kind of reminds me of, like, Roggenrola, or maybe even Geodude. I feel like maybe it's kind of like the Geodude or the Roggenrola of this region. I really love its name, really creative name, and something I noticed, like, in the actual gameplay as opposed to the artwork, is that it's got a wheel underneath its body. So this definitely makes me, I mean, obviously that explains the Rolycoly name, but that makes me think it's going to evolve into, actually, I am going to throw out a little bit of a theory right now, just right off the bat. I'm pretty sure this Pokemon is going to evolve into a train / steam engine Pokemon. And the reason why I say that is because A, steam engines and trains are essentially fueled by coal. That's kind of an iconic thing that happens, so that's an obvious like indication that that could be the case. And also its eye is not only glowing like a headlight of a train, but it's also shaped kind of how the headlight of a train would be shaped. And then if that didn't convince you right there, it's also got an ability called Steam Engine, which according to Sarah, because this is a new ability, ups the speed. Let's see where is it? Let's see. It boosts the speed by 1 stage if the Pokemon is hit by a fire or water type move. So I mean, that's pretty much like that, like literally paints it like in black and white that yeah, this Pokemon's most likely going to evolve into a coal train Pokemon, which I'm down for. That sounds really interesting, and I really like how they kind of snuck that. Like, I didn't notice the wheel when I watched the trailer first, but then I noticed it afterwards, and I really like how this looks. Like, I really like it's very ambitious in terms of basing a Pokemon on a vehicle, but so far I feel like they've pulled it off for a first stage, and I hope it continues to kind of keep up that quality, keep up that intuitiveness in its design, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what it evolves into. And then we got what's probably the most interesting looking new Pokemon, who is Duraludon, and he's definitely interesting looking. He's a Steel Dragon type. I'd say he's probably kind of the most out there looking Pokemon we've got so far, but I mean, I think he fits the bill. He's definitely a Steel Dragon type. What I'm trying to figure out is whether or not he's like the pseudo-legendary of the region or something like that. He's going up against a Tyranitar in the trailer who's also a pseudo-legendary, so I could see that happening, but typically they never reveal the final evolution of a pseudo-legendary. Like, they might reveal like the pre-evolved form, but they never usually reveal like the fully evolved form, at least not this early. I guess they did with Hakamo and Jangmo-o, but like they revealed Jangmo-o first and then they revealed Hakamo later, like right before the game came out. So like it's obviously kind of a fully evolved late game Pokemon because it's facing against the Tyranitar. I could see it being the pseudo legendary just because of the Steel Dragon typing, because it's facing off against Tyranitar, but I honestly hope it's not, if I'm being honest with you, because I mean, I might warm up to the design, but right now what I'm seeing, like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling that like pseudo legendary like justification. Like I'm not feeling like, yes, this is a really good pseudo legendary. Like if it's a regular Pokemon, that's cool, but if it's a pseudo legendary, I may or may not be a bit disappointed, but I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. And then we start to get into the gym challenge. We get introduced to the characters that were shown earlier. We've got Chairman Rose, who he looks like a very interesting character. Like this guy, like I know people were talking about Leon potentially being evil, but this guy kind of looks like the type of guy that could be like evil. Like he looks like he could put up that front of being a nice guy, but then end up being evil at the end of the day. And then we've got Oleana, who we only get a very brief look at her, but she definitely looks like she's got a very stoic, kind of just like unimpressed look on her face, and I feel like she could definitely be, there could be something going on there between the two, so we'll just have to wait and see. Very interesting to say the least. And then the other really interesting thing that the trailer doesn't talk about, but we get confirmation on through the website, is the fact that this game is going to have version exclusive gyms. So not just Pokemon are going to be exclusive like we all know and love, but gyms are going to be exclusive too, which honestly, that's kind of crazy to make something as big as a gym version exclusive, but honestly, I'm all for it. I think this is a really good idea for a couple of different reasons. Number one, regardless of which version of the game you get, there's still going to be 8 gym leaders. So if some gyms are version exclusive, that just means we're getting more characters overall. We're getting more gyms, we're getting more gym leaders, and we're getting more unique characters introduced, which I always think is just fantastic because it just gives us more content. And then on top of that, like it also gives more replayability in terms of wanting to play both versions, because me, as not only a PokeTuber but also like as a collector and stuff, I always get 2 versions, but I never really play either of them. I play the one I want to play, and I never have a reason to go play the other one. I kind of just keep the game for, I guess you could say, like collecting purposes or whatever. But now, like, this gives me a reason to play the game. Like, an exclusive gym leader is a big enough of a version that I will go ahead and play a playthrough of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and I just think that's fantastic, just because it gives more like reason to pick one game or the other, and it gives more reason to play both, but it doesn't take, like, one does not take away from the other. So they're both full games. You can enjoy them both individually, but then you have a reason to play the other one, even like you have a reason to play Pokemon Sword even if you played Pokemon Shield, and vice versa. So I think this is a really nice way to go for the whole version exclusive mechanic. And then as far as the gym leaders themselves, we got Bea, who is the fighting type gym leader, very appropriately named, if I do say so myself. And then we've got Alistair, who is the ghost type gym leader. And let me tell you guys, I am digging his design. I like how creepy he is. I like how spooky he is. The website basically talks about how he's so shy and just is quiet, and he's such a loner that he wears the mask that he's wearing and he hardly ever takes it off just because of how shy he is. And appropriately, he has a Mimikyu in the trailer because of that. So I just think this guy looks really cool because he looks legitimately scary, and these 2 gym leaders are the gym leaders so far that we know of that are version exclusive. So in Pokemon Shield, you're going to be facing off against Alistair, whereas in Pokemon Sword, you'll fight off against Bea, and their gyms are in the same location, just obviously different gym leader. And I'm very interested to know how many of those are going to be version exclusive. If I had to guess, maybe I'd say like 2. I think 3 maybe would be a little much, but if they did 2, I would be hyped. If they did 2, I would be hyped, because once again, that just adds to the replayability. It adds to the content that's there to like analyze and look at and go over, and characters introduced and all that stuff. I am down for that, let me tell you guys. And then we actually get into something very interesting, and that is Gigantamaxing. The reason why this is interesting is because Gigantamaxing has been reported on as being a thing that's going to happen in a leak that has been credible, like, up to this point in terms of what it's proven to be true, but this pretty much confirms that the leak is correct, because the leak specifically mentioned Gigantamaxing and that it would change the Pokemon's size and appearance. So basically Dynamaxing, but with changing a Pokemon's appearance as well, kind of like Mega Evolution, and that's exactly what it is doing. We see Alcremie basically get a Gigantamax version where it becomes a giant cake, which is kind of funny. And then we see Gigantamax Dreadnought, who actually stands up on 2 legs. It gets it gets a huge shell, it gets tons of stuff, gets a few alterations to its design. And honestly, I think this makes the whole Dynamax concept a whole lot better. Like, to this point, I'm not really opposed to Dynamax, but I definitely don't think it's as good as Mega Evolution per se. But with Gigantamaxing, I think it's a nice way to kind of like bridge the gap between wanting Mega Evolution back and doing a new feature, because like having the Pokemon change appearance is, I think that's the thing that people want. That's the thing that people are fascinated by, and now they're doing this. And so I feel like that really adds more to Dynamaxing as a whole. It really just helps, like, in my opinion, it really helps me to enjoy it a lot more, because I get to look forward to what the Pokemon is going to look like afterwards. I think it's really cool. So it says on the website here that only certain species of Pokemon can Gigantamax, as opposed to like Dynamaxing, where every Pokemon can Dynamax. So basically, it's kind of like that Mega Evolution equivalent. And then it even goes on to say on the website, and even among such species, only rare specimens will be able to Gigantamax. The majority will keep their usual appearance when they Dynamax. So it looks like there's going to be, like, obviously, like, your Alcremies, your Dreadnoughts, that are Pokemon that are capable of Dynamaxing, just like Mega Evolution once again, where there's only certain Pokemon that can do it, but then it says even then only rare specimens. So maybe there's going to be like a special Dreadnought that you have to go catch through a side quest that will be able to Gigantamax, or a special Alcremie. If that's the case, I think that's really cool, because like it gives you, like, once again, like an extra little like side mission to do, to go seek out these Pokemon. I think that's really cool. I honestly think this makes the Gigantamax, or the Dynamax feature in general, way better. And since the leak has basically been proven true, I'm not going to talk about any further details, but it did go into detail on some older Pokemon that are capable of Gigantamaxing, which I think is going to make it even better. So I am honestly really satisfied with this development for Dynamaxing, because like just adding the appearance change in addition to everything else pretty much just makes it a combination between Mega Evolutions and Z moves, and I think it does enough as a feature that I can really get behind it and get excited about it. Because if we're getting it makes me excited to see which Pokemon are going to change forms. The whole fact that apparently only specific very rare Pokemon can do it, which kind of makes me think we're going to be able to catch these Pokemon in some type of quest. That gets me excited. I think there's a lot to be excited about here with this Gigantamaxing side of the feature, and I honestly think it does enough for me to make it a really, I won't say a really good feature, but it does enough for me to get me excited about it. I wasn't really that excited about Dynamax, but I'm excited about Gigantamax. I think this is gonna make this feature worthwhile. I really do. And that's pretty much the end of the trailer. Okay, so we've reached the end of the trailer. So all in all, I'm liking what we're seeing. I really am liking what we're seeing. I've seen some people in the comments of the trailer on YouTube and things like that still going off about the whole National Dex thing. And basically at this point, I'm going to say, if you have a beef with the whole National Dex thing, if you are wanting to nitpick this game and criticize this game because of this, at this point, I'm not going to change your mind, and no one else is going to change your mind. So if that's what you really want to do, then go for it, I guess. But honestly, just let people enjoy the game who want to enjoy the game. There is so much stuff in this, like, about this game that proves it's going to be a really good game. Like, there's no doubt that it's going to be a really good game regardless of whether or not you like it or not. So if you don't like it, you want to complain, that's fine. But all I'm asking at this point to those people is just let people enjoy the game who want to enjoy the game. Don't ruin their experience of it, because even if you don't like it, there's still a lot of people that are going to like it, and for good reason, because there's a lot of really cool stuff. But with all that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap up my impressions. I think everything we saw is really cool. I really like the Pokemon. I'm excited to learn more about what they evolve into, especially with Rolycoly. I really like the Gigantamaxing now that that's confirmed. That really does a lot for me, and I really love the version exclusive gyms. I think that's probably my favorite feature that's been revealed, because that just, like, I know I'm gonna play through this game twice now at least just to be able to experience the other gym leaders, and I just think that's really cool because we get more characters and gameplay and content, and I'm really excited about that. But with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on all of this stuff, and be sure to subscribe if you're new, because now that we've got new information to work with, I'm going to be having information, or videos I should say, on this stuff coming up all throughout the rest of the week and into the future as well. It's going to be a great time to be subscribed, and we're basically almost 1,000 subscribers away at this point from 100K. We're almost at 99K at the time of this recording, which is insane. Holy crap, guys, I love you. I've got so many awesome things planned for when we hit 100K that I can't wait to show you guys. So if you want to subscribe and be a part of that experience, I promise I will not disappoint, and I would love you forever. So definitely join the party if that's something you're interested in. But with all that being said, I better go and get started on editing this video. So once again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when those new videos go live, all that good jazz. I will be back tomorrow with another video on this stuff, covering it more in detail and with a little more thought put into it, so it's going to be an awesome video for sure. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys then. I love you all, and until then, I'll smell you guys later.